this is Kitling here. I was born in China, raised in Hong Kong, and grew up in New Zealand. Now I'm back based in Hong Kong. When people hear the word Hong Kong, they often think about fast train, bright light, and equal opportunity. But for many children, especially ethnic minority children from underprivileged backgrounds, Hong Kong feels like a transparent wall for them. They could see it, but they couldn't get in. Let me share a moment from my own life. I was invited to a park in Wang, where my friend is doing a youth outreach there. That night, I met a 4-year-old boy who is Filipino mixed with Pakistani. We saw him violently scratching the face of another African boy his age with his nail. We went to him and stopped him by holding his hand and tried to teach him what he did was wrong, and he needed to apologize. We asked him many times over and over again, but he refused to say sorry. He was very stubborn. Eventually, we have to let him go. But about 10 minutes later, he came back and he hid a gun behind his back. As soon as he saw us, he pulled it out and shot us. I was so shocked and wondering why a 4-year-old boy would carry this level of violence. And later on, I found out that he is from a home that has domestic violence. That was the moment I realized violence doesn't start outside on the street. It starts inside the absence of safety and belonging at home. We didn't give up on him. We kept returning to the park and build a stable relationship with him. We started a kids club there and taught the kids to love one another. And over time, his attitude changed. He started to help out. And we also witnessed the war between the different ethnicity breaking down. That boy taught me what happens when a society gives a child no safe identity but only label. This is why I started an NGO, because I believe a child shouldn't be defined by a broken beginning, but by the step we take to respond. What does it mean to be an ethnic minority in Hong Kong? By definition, it means being part of a smaller cultural group that face social and economical marginalizations. Our latest census shows this population grew 37% in a single decade. Most of them were born here. 60% of them can speak the local language. Some can even write and read. By birth, they are Hong Kongers, but by treatment, they are strangers. Many of our kids face a combination of complex, interlocking challenges. In fact, what we see locally in Hong Kong reflects a global reality. According to the data from UNICEF, ethnic minority and marginalization children worldwide face deep systemic exclusions. Globally, children from the most advanced group are more than twice as likely to have foundational reading skills compared to their minority peers. We see this exact gap playing out in our school every day, caused by heavy pressures, shortage of enrichment like sport, mentoring, leadership development, and lack of safe space where they can truly be themselves. They are under constant anxiety to find race in a dominated language environment, creating intense pressure, forcing them to stay quiet and crashing their confidence. For low-income ethnic minority youth who drop out of school early due to the local Chinese language barrier, 40% of them experience intense depressive symptoms. A report also says only 4 of the ethnic minority youth ever make it into a public university, compared to 18% of local students. They carry the heavy weight of a social stigma, being judged and expected to fail before they even start. This is the most heartbreaking part. A major study found that while 84% of ethnic minority youth are happy living here, 43% of them planning to leave Hong Kong within 10 years because they feel so excluded. And on top of all this, their parents are working long hours just to survive, leaving them with very limited time and support at home. When society constantly treats a child as less capable, the child will internalize it. The core issue isn't a lack of skill. It is a crisis of identity. Out of every 10 ethnic minority you see on our street, 6 were born here, yet 4 out of those 10 feel so excluded, they wanted to abandon their home. And fewer than 1 out of 10 will ever enter a local university. They are not failing, but the village is failing them. When children believe I can't, they will stop trying. But when they believe I matter, they will start the momentum. So we ask ourselves one question: how do we help a child move from I can't to I matter? We didn't start our work because we have everything figured out. We start because we refuse to watch these kids be trapped by circumstances. As a change maker, I have 2 deep fears. One is personal. What if I fail? What if I don't have what it takes? And the second one is more terrifying. What if we are too late? Because for a child, late isn't just a day on a calendar. It means being too late for confidence, too late for opportunity, too late to believe that they matter. We want to build more than a program. We want to design an ecosystem built out on 4 distinct pillars that reshape their identity. And they should know everyone is a unique masterpiece. We turn passive support into active empowerment using 4 pillars. Each pillar delivers a specific identity outcome. Mentorship is not about giving top-down advice. It is about real connection. It's about relationship. It's a mentor who remembers your name, listening to your heart, and celebrate your effort instead of your outcomes. We met Naomi when she was 6 years old. She grew up in a deep uncertainty with 7 siblings and a constant changing family structures. In primary 6, she had a choice to go to a higher-ranked high school alone or go with her friend to a lower-ranked high school. We spent years giving her a sense of security. She finally chose the higher-ranked Band 1 school, confident that her foundation was secure. Today, she is sitting for her DSE exam and pursuing her dream to study journalism at university. Because she was seen, she knew her voice mattered. We teach communication, public speaking, and teamwork, but we do it in a way that protects their dignity. Jasmine moved to Hong Kong from Nepal at age 8. She faced several discrimination and was terrified to speak. She started attending our park gathering every Friday night, slowly transitioning into our youth group. Today, Jasmine isn't hiding anymore. She stands confidently in the exact same park, using her own voice to lead and mentor the next generation of children. In our organization, youth do not just join programs, they lead them. Leadership is the ultimate proof a child that I can. So here is Gary's story. Gary came to Hong Kong from Africa at age 8, raised by a single parent before entering a compact step family. Last summer, Gary became a leader at our children's camp. He was assigned a 9-year-old African boy who suffered from dyslexia, couldn't read or write, and he had attitude and behavior issues. Gary became his elder brother. He guided him, disciplined him with love, carried him through the camp. By the final day, that young boy's attitude changed. Gary discovered his agency, the power to influence a life. They say it takes a village to raise a child, but it takes a safe community to help them grow. A child who feels alone with strength, a child who feels safe to go. Tanya is a mixed Indian and Indonesian. When she first came to us, she was very shy, always hiding behind her mom's back. Through the year of constant community support, she transformed it. She became a public MC, entered a Cantonese speaking competition and won the championship, even being featured on education TV. She stopped seeing herself as a problem and found true belongings. To understand how these 4 pillars work, you have to meet Jenny. Jenny was quiet and caring. She avoids attention, yet we choose to trust her with a massive responsibility. She led the opening song of the Lion King theater production, completely alone in front of 400 audience. She trembled with hesitations, but her community stood beside her. Her mentor encouraged her and stepped out on the stage. The moment the curtain closed, she was backstage with tears rolling down her face, looking at us, and she said this: "I did it. I couldn't believe I could do this." The moment wasn't just about a stage performance, it was about a psychological breakthrough. She didn't just learn how to sing a song, she gained a new identity. And when a child's identity changes, their ancient future changes with it. This brings us to the core truth of this talk. Empowerment is not charity. It is not saving people. It's not doing something nice from distance. Empowerment means giving young people the tool and the belief that they can shape their own life. Underprivileged children do not need our pity. They need our partnership. Pity creates dependency. Partnership creates power. An academic field study conducted in Panama analyzed the difference between giving dependency-oriented aid versus autonomy-oriented partnership. The results were clear. When you give people autonomy through tools and partnership, it sparks a deep, lasting internal motivation and family-wide transformations. And when you give pity, you create a cycle of reliance. Our children are not helpless. They are incredibly resilient. They don't need to be rescued. They just need the right condition to unlock their potentials. If empowerment is a partnership, then what must we do next? This is no longer just a challenge for Hong Kong. This is a blueprint for the world. Millions of marginalized youth across the globe are waiting for us to stop treating them as a passive charity case and starting embracing them as a co-creator of their own future. To achieve this, we must commit to 3 immediate actions. Fund access, not just program. Stop funding one-off weekend camp that merely satisfy a corpus conscience. You cannot build an identity in a weekend. True change requires constant bi-weekly touchpoint over 1 to 2 years at least. This consistency creates psychological safety, the kind of long-term safety that allows Naomi to reach a top-ranking school and aim for university. Train mentors as partner, not savior. We must stop letting volunteers enter this place with a savior complex. A savior complex only reinforces the idea that the child is broken. We must train mentors in a cultural humanity and trauma-informed care. We must measure identity outcome, not valid methods. Stop bragging about how many care packages we give out and look at Jasmine, who went from a silent child to an active storyteller in the community under partnership-based mentorship. Build pathway to leadership. We must design pipeline that participate into leaders. True agency happens when a child stops asking, "What will they give me?" and start asking, "What can I build?" Take Gary as an example, who stepped up to become a big brother that altered the young boy's entire attitude towards life. Let our metrics finally reflect our missions. Stop counting the children we serve and start counting the leader we empower. If you only remember one thing from today's talk, remember this: a child's future should never depend on circumstances they didn't choose. When we look at children growing up on the margin of the society, we have 2 choices. We can meet them with pity, or we can join them in partnership. Pity builds a ceiling of dependency. Partnership builds a one-way of power. When we give Tanya a safe community, she found her voice. When we give Jenny the pathway to leadership, she realized she wasn't a problem to be solved, but a person capable of greatness. If we give children the right conditions, they will stand tall, look at the world, and say, "I matter." And once a child knows they matter, their momentum completely unstoppable. Let us pull up a chair, sit at the table as equal, and build the future with them. Thank you.
Thank you, Kitling, for sharing with us and drawing our attention to the educational needs of ethnic minorities children in Hong Kong.